All right, first thing is to read and approve November 14, 2023 minutes.
Minutes be accepted as written.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
The roll regular meetings. In fact.
Second thing, to read and approve November 28, 2023 warrant.
Move we approve the warrant.
All in favor?
Wondering when you're gonna ship that. It is? I got one. I got one. I bought it back in '69. Canada, British Columbia.
Ready. Next thing is to schedule a special town meeting for moratorium ordinance, medical marijuana, cannabis dispensary, and production facility, and appropriations for funds of SMDDC review and revision of land use ordinance. So we're gonna hear last week.
Yeah. I move that we hold a special town meeting on the 12th of December. Tonight, 6 o'clock.
Well, okay.
As soon as we can.
Yep. Second that.
I've already drafted the warrant and the announcement. You know that with you? We have to vote to have the moratorium. We have to vote on the moratorium. That's what we have to do. No, we have to be on December 12th. Warrant. Everybody thinks medical marijuana dispensaries are great in the next town. Actually signed as an officer.
If you have the actual warrant, which that is, you can sign it and then we can get it posted sooner rather than later.
The actual ordinance wording, you have, post that right away on the town website, Facebook page, yada, yada, yada. Yeah.
Yep, that's right there.
I think it should be in March.
Next thing is Canterville Times. You went up there and found out there was something wrong.
Yeah. I think I showed you folks pictures last time.
Yep.
Work up there.
Yep.
It was suggested that we log off at least whatever it is that we know we own, but we really don't have any survey markers or anything up there. So the suggestion is that we get it logged, and use that to pay for some survey, but I think that's the backwards way to do it. I think you gotta get the survey first.
So we don't cross over somebody else's line.
So it's then suggested
Bless you.
that one of the ways we might be able to do this is appropriate money to get it surveyed, or get a surveyor to do it and hold his charges until the logging has been completed, and then he gets paid. I'm told that they
Seems like
will.
a stretch.
Huh?
Yeah.
They will, I've been told that they will do that, I don't know. You gotta find the guy
We
first.
find somebody, yeah.
I helped somebody here in town get their property surveyed so they could refinance it and pay their taxes. I found a survey company that would do that. But I don't know, this is a much bigger project because I spent a couple of days, a few weekends ago, just going through the registry of deeds, trying to track back all of these lots. I think we own the yellow, and the whites are what private people own, we think.
Where's this from?
Pantherville Pines, she's up near where Mary lives, and,
Right beside it.
It's been a
Huh?
headache
I
for
live
a
right
long
beside
time.
it.
and,
That's why you guys are hanging on to all the land you can, so
That's
that
the
eventually,
word.
if you own it all, you can
Sell it
then
all.
define it out yourself.
Yeah.
Cause you're not gonna get it surveyed.
well, here's the problem, is I can't see how we can even prove ownership of a lot of it. So we need somebody to actually be able to find it. I can't find a closure document on the biggest piece. And.
I don't think they did. I don't think they did that at all. This guy just gave them
Is that in our records or some say like Cumberland County records?
In the registry of deeds is what it's for, and, so, you know, I don't think the history is good of waiting for people to expire, and, because what happens is, and we already have an instance of it, is somebody just moves in and keeps paying the taxes. We've got people that coming to us saying, I don't have a deed, can you give me a deed? And it's like, no, we can't give you a deed, but they're on the property, and they're paying the taxes. And without some kind of a stake in the ground to say this is what we own, and what we know we own, we're kind of in the dark here, so, if you don't mind, I'll ask around, see if we can find somebody who would.
Yeah, the other guy in Austin, Harrison, it is expensive, and I don't know if you can tackle a big lot like that. How many acres does that encompass, do you think? 100 and...
No.
Not that much?
It's not that much, but that's not gonna be the issue. The issue is gonna be the complexity of finding all these lots.
Finding all your points so you can shoot them.
A lot of the deeds look the same, I don't know. But I think that there's less than 50 acres there, probably close to 30 total. But, well, I don't know, you just let it go.
I got no problem with
I mean, if you want to appropriate money, you'd have to know how much money to even appropriate. So
You'd have to
get
take
the
a pretty good
survey
guess,
and
yeah.
Look at it anyway.
So I would, let's say, I went through a lot of deeds, traced them back as far as I could. They've only got a few benchmarks, really. The best benchmark is Mr. Rolo's property, right up there on the corner, because he's got a survey.
Oh, yeah.
We've got some descriptions of other deeds, and I think we've pretty well tied them to, some things, and there should be some pins set out there, and piles of rock and stuff, if you read the deeds. But,
Excuse me, Bill, I have a question. So if you've done this complex research, which I know because I photocopied it all, but, so if is it on the surveyor to double check the deeds and do a title search on all of this stuff?
I believe that's what they do.
They do?
Yep, and they do it for towns, and they do it, they'll do it for individuals. If you got a piece of property and you need to verify your meets and bounds, you pay, and they'll go
So
up.
that's as official as if you were to have like a real estate attorney do a title search.
They do it too.
Where it's just all, you know, if you've done as thorough a job as anybody could do, but if,
No,
if you
not really.
still have questions
Not
on
really.
things.
Let me explain is that a lot of the information is not here, and it's not in the registry of deeds, it's in individual surveyors' files. Because these guys, I know they've come to me looking for my uncle's and my grandfather's files. They wanted to add it to the library, because those are that's actual survey data that they can then use when they get a job like this to go out and locate the thing. And somebody has already told me that that's how they got this Anderson lot laid out. They went into somebody's survey files, and, because that's just described by, you know, spotted pine tree and whatever, and the old road, but they managed to, tape it off and harvest it. So I think there's people that can do it, whether it's gonna be affordable or not, I don't know, but it's just a thought.
It's definitely worth looking into, and see.
I can ask around and see if there's anybody who might be interested. It's one of the first things I tried to tackle when I first came on the board years ago, and that's about as far as I got. I can pretty good color in what was, not in the tax commitment books, but that's about the best. All right.
Okay, yeah. Growth ordinance vote.
I move that we keep the number of growth permits the same number for the next year.
I'll second it.
And that was 15, eh?
15, yeah.
You have to do that every year, because if you don't vote for it,
Yes.
it expires.
Yeah.
That should be on the record.
Yeah. CEO position. We've interviewed a few people. You can't actually, we really haven't discussed any.
Yeah, we need to, sit down at an executive session, I guess, and discuss the various
Yeah.
candidates.
Yeah.
They're all pretty much willing to come right on board.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we can schedule something at our next workshop.
I was gonna suggest that, yeah. Yeah.
Get it moving.
Yeah, we need to, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. Excellent. Reminders, what we got coming up? Nothing up there. There's plenty more meetings.
No, no.
Nothing coming up. Matt, you got anything? Comments or questions or concerns? No? No? All good? Good. Joe?
You wanna ask a question for me?
I already know what it is.
You know what the question is.
When's it done?
Oh, what's that? All right. Yeah, there's something else we got. Can we decide right now?
Okay. Or make it late in June.
Like June?
I mean, we should just pick, like, a set third Saturday, second Saturday, first Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Is June 1st, which is
Why don't you do June 3rd?
June 3rd?
Well, I'm thinking school would be out by then.
That's on a Monday though. June 3rd is on a Monday.
We'd have to pick a day, like the first Saturday.
That's what it's the third week, that's what I meant.
Oh, the
I didn't
third
mean
week?
June 3rd. That one came out wrong.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I meant the third week. I just thought school would be out by then.
the issue in the past was trying to work around to make sure it doesn't conflict with high school and college graduations and
Yeah,
two things that do it.
May on.
I've missed a couple.
Yeah.
the graduation is typically this, anywhere between like the 10th and the,
Yeah,
or maybe even earlier,
And,
so 2 weeks would be pretty busy.
and I know town meetings once a year, but graduations once in a lifetime.
Right.
And when you miss them, you miss them.
I think the first Saturday in June would be the best option, just because it doesn't get into graduation, that type of stuff. Once you get into June, the later part of June, you're not gonna get anybody after school.
I was thinking that the end of June too is, you get into A season.
Right.
Yeah, if it's a nice day and on the 22nd, somebody's gonna be making hay that day.
We don't do any of that here.
Don't build a bill.
I think a lot of colleges are in May.
Shoot for June 1st,
We do have to call it the first Saturday, you know,
first Saturday of June, it should be.
next year it'd be different.
Right,
We could
yeah.
name it every year, but then you'd be asking us.
First Saturday, that's right. Make it official, that the first Saturday of June would be town meeting.
It'd be June 7th if we kept it the first Saturday of June, of 25.
For 25, okay. Nearly start.
You're never gonna get it right anyway. so
Right.
I would suggest that more towards the first of June.
The first Saturday in June?
Yeah,
Okay.
just because everything's so busy for people with graduations and, you know, even going off the summer.
Right,
I second the motion.
okay, there you go, Joe, first Saturday in June.
Thank you.
I'll put that in my calendar right now.
Yeah, last year's was the 6th. That one, and then the
That's
9th.
the first, right?
So this is the
Yeah,
first.
this is the first, yeah.
Oh, it would be this year, yeah.
This year, yeah, now next year. Alright, all set?
I'm all set.
You ready, now you can take your plan. Mary, you got anything?
Yeah, I wanna say thank you for, caring about where I live. I've been there 45 years, and I felt pretty much abandoned all these years. I really have, and for once, I feel like you guys are, like, helping, just, like, at least focusing in on, you know, I love my house.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to happen to it, and I don't want it to go down in value, and I don't, you know, I just really appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
I really do. Thank you.
This is funny, you got anything?
I'm trying to find the
Yeah,
school
I-
calendar so I can tell you when the graduation is. I'm only signing up through, January.
Yeah, no one will fix graduation.
I had a brain fart.
That's why not? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, you. Because they don't know how many snow days they're gonna be.
Oh, that's why. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, they really wouldn't.
Can't tell you when the graduation's gonna be, sorry.
Well, thank you for looking. All right.
So you're all set? Everyone's all set? Don, you got anything?
I'm all set.
Steve?
Yeah.
What's happening with you?
Usually I got you. So on Thanksgiving morning, Baldwin Fire Department responded to a chimney fire, in the west side of town, right over by the fire station. That was on a scale of mild to extreme severe. It was, you know, like probably within 10 minutes of extending into the house and becoming a structure fire. Baldwin responded quickly and very, very, very professionally. I was like almost floored, beyond impressed with how everybody acted, responded, and the job that they did. And I want to let you know that all those fancy tools and fans that we bought this year were used, and really effectively, especially that fan. The house was filled with smoke and kind of like a mix of nastiness that you couldn't breathe inside the house without being, you know, on an FCBA. The homeowner did have a bunny rabbit, a cat, and a dog that were all rescued from the house by Standish and Baldwin firefighters. And we were able to make sure that it didn't extend to any other part of the house. Some of the documentation that we've developed in the fire department since I've been chief has created a curtain of liability for something like this. So we have a sign-off sheet that pretty much mirrors what Standish uses. It's a carbon copied sign-off sheet that basically instructs the homeowner that I sign, or if the commander on scene signs, the homeowner signs, that says, you know, we're not going to use this specific appliance until it's been serviced by a, you know, authorizing professional service provider, until it's deemed back in service. And I always leave a person, whether it's an electrical outlet, a furnace, a boiler, whatever. I left her with my phone number, and she actually gave me a call today, and she was like, I just want to make sure I had a chimney professional come by, everything looks like it's okay, and do you need anything else from me? I said, no, not at all, I just want you to turn your heat on. So she was very grateful, and the response from Standish was really excellent also, and we really needed them. They brought their aerial ladder to chain the chimney to basically break up any blockages that were in there. So it was a really good example of every dollar that we're giving to Standish and giving to the Baldwin Fire Department is really providing a service for this town.
Good.
Yeah, it was excellent. So I'm very proud of the guys. Yeah, very good stuff. To talk about radio stuff a little bit, I haven't really heard much from Melinda Dyer in Cumberland County yet, but you know, again, our application for the radios and the P25 thing, where it was approved, I'm kind of hoping that they'll give us some money for a repeater. I will be in touch about that. So that's kind of still brewing. And then I just want to touch base because I thought it was pretty interesting at our special town meeting today, some of the information, and I will go as far as to say rumors that fly around regarding all departments in town. And why I kind of felt the need as not only a taxpayer, but as chief of the fire department to speak, you know, and kind of help share information. This information can be really contagious, and it's definitely not good for the development of this town. I promise that everybody in this room, I will always be very honest with you, present you with facts, and let you guys make decisions. Although I'm a chief, I just guide you, that's all. So that being said, the ordinance that we passed didn't do anything for a fire station whatsoever. What it did do is it opened us up to be able to receive a lot of granting, which kind of last time I got a fire call right in the middle of talking, and I didn't really get a chance to kind of talk to you about. We did talk about the median income of Baldwin and how we're above the state median income per household, and so that doesn't allow the USDA to give us any grants for what they call community facilities, to basically give us money to build a fire station. So I talked to the office of, Susan Collins and Shelley Pingree, and Shelley Pingree's office called me back today to provide similar information to what the office of Susan Collins did when I first spoke with them. It was really a productive conversation. It was like almost an hour and 45 minutes. It was a little too long, but it's a lot of information. There's a lot of resources that we can use in order to build a centralized fire station when that time does come, that would avoid putting a large burden on the taxpayer. I kind of presented you guys two options last time. That was, we get a bond or we do congressionally directed spending. The office of Shelley Pingree seemed to have a couple of more ideas that I thought were really interesting. One of them, Stevie had actually mentioned me before, is that there's a thing called the AFG grant. It's part of AFG. It's part of FEMA. We actually got our tank via the AFG grant and via FEMA. It's an arduous process for granting. And the more money that you need, the more arduous the granting process is. So a fire station would be even harder than it was to get a truck. But it's still a possibility. And it was brought to my attention that there is a Southern Maine Planning Board Commission.
Southern Maine Regional Planning and Development?
Planning and Development Commission, thank you, Josiah, appreciate it. That encompasses mostly York and Oxford County, but Baldwin falls into it. It's the only town in Cumberland County that does.
Yeah, we hired them.
Yeah, and they also provide funding for rural development. And they said that, at least the office of Shelley Pingree said that with, you know, like the state representatives and the federal representatives for the state are considering a project like this, that they would be able to assist us in some sort of way. So I'm going to kind of open a line of communication with them. I think it would be good to kind of look at every avenue we have to kind of keep moving forward on this, because like I said earlier about our trucks, we are unique in Baldwin. We are in Cumberland County. We happen to be in the highest response district in the entire state. It is just how it is, and even though we're the most rural town in that district, we're in it. So, you know, making sure that our emergency services infrastructure can still provide a service to a person like what happens on Thanksgiving morning, I'd like to make sure that all our houses and families are protected. So, that's what I got going on.
Good.
Keep you updated.
Sounds positive.
Of course.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's all been
Yeah.
going really well, actually. I thought our options were really limited, and they kind of keep expanding, so.
Yeah, finding out stuff that you never knew was out there.
Yeah, so there's no $2 million fire station yet. And if there was, it's not gonna be me and you that's paying for it, I promise, because I don't wanna pay for it either.
Things absolutely awesome about you is you're so optimistic.
Hey, you gotta be.
And not only optimistic, but you're willing to go the extra yard, make you even more optimistic.
Thank you, Mary, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Firefighters are supposed to be eternal optimists. We see a burning building and say, we can fix that.
I think if you ever get tired of being fire chief in Baldwin, I think you ought to run for an office.
No.
No, we want.
No.
Yeah, I think.
I like these guys do a good enough job. I have
Yeah,
to deal with it.
no, I don't
Thank you,
mean
though.
them, I'm talking about legislature.
Oh, God. I can hear my wife screaming in West Baldwin now. Well, thank you very much. I'm here to protect you guys, you know, and my family too, so.
He is appreciated, I tell you.
Yeah, we like
Well,
it.
yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah. We'll go back. Chad, you want to get anything out there?
No, not right now.
Chris?
I don't have much. I will say thank you, everyone, for voting and coming out tonight. That's about it. That's all I got.
Now you can call them and say, yeah.
I already texted it.
You did. Yeah.
You said excellent news. Call me in the morning.
We're coming for it, yeah.
So.
Good.
Yep. Other than that, that's about it right now. Because we're hanging out.
Trying to keep you in tools to do the job.
That's what I hope. In case you're curious, I did do the math. It costs us about $10 a mile to plow a road per storm.
$10 a mile?
Yeah.
How many miles do you do in the storm road?
Well, per storms, it's all based on how many rounds we do. So,
Yeah.
so I did the math on this truck. So the truck is with the maintenance and everything of the truck, with the maintenance and the purchase price, and extended out over 12 years is what I figured, 12 to 15 years for the truck life expectancy. It's gonna cost us like 10 miles to run that truck down the road. So that's based off 33 miles per round trip, so it's 16 miles, center miles is what we call it, 30 lane miles, and that's for one round. So each storm, you're gonna at least average 3 to 4 rounds. So the truck's gonna put close to 100 to 120 miles on every snowstorm, based off each weather event. You're looking at probably 20 weather events in a winter, 20 to 30, I mean, depending on that storm weather. And then we're gonna use it all summer long too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of interesting that it's gonna cost you $10 to drive the truck down the road for a mile.
Mm-hmm.
$10?
$10 for a mile. Yeah. For 12 years, so and that's with the maintenance cost and services and fuel and cutting edges and all that. I didn't think $10 per mile for the storm isn't all that bad, I
No.
think.
I think that's what Steve says it costs him to run a truck.
Yeah.
Steve, that's
Steve Estes, I think the last time I heard him say over $10 a mile.
Yeah.
So. Not horrible. That's about all I got. Then.
Good.
He's got a smile on his face.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been smiling all day.
Yeah.
The new truck coming.
Who's gonna get to drive it?
I actually am the only one that can drive it. Well, he'll probably be in it this winter. I'm the only one that can drive it out of state though. I'm the only one with a medical card.
Oh, yeah.
So I get to drive it home.
You can drive it home, yeah.
So, Stevie will probably be in it though. He's a spoiled little kid.
That's bad to say.
So, you're responsible for it, remember. Any dents on it?
save it up any more than anyone else in the past.
I told him he can't go up Bowyer over that.
All right, that's it?
That's all I have.
You got anything? Kathy?
Yep. Brown Memorial Library, tree lighting. That would be Sunday the 10th at 4 p.m. And the Saturday before is the Historicals potluck supper with Pucker Brush playing. An awesome event. Come, get a nice meal, listen to some fantastic music.
Yeah, it
And
is
then come
awesome.
light the tree and visit with Santa.
It is potluck though, we get free.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and what time is that Pucker Brush Day?
That's, Deb, that's 7? 5? 5.
Five.
Five for the meal. Okay.
And that's,
This is the
Tree
tree
lighting?
lighting, the Sunday after. It's the 10th.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
So we'll need some help to put the tree up and get some cookies in there.
Sure.
And
You need a tree?
you could use a tree, yes.
My neighbor's got one, he's gonna donate it.
Oh, cool, yay, okay, thank you. That'd be really awesome.
Okay.
I'm making sure they don't grow tall enough to shade my solar panels.
Yes, there you go. At 4 o'clock. And then, on another note at the library, the inspector, the annual inspection came and the, elevator failed because there were a few things that were water damage from the water that had been in there. The water itself is not there. Estes came, he cleared the pipes, everything drained out, awesome. But now I need to find an electrician that can do, serious work. Not much, it's just one line of wires, a plug, a light, and a, box that we could put a sump pump plug into. So it's not a big deal, and it's easily gotten into. I just need to find somebody that's available.
Chris Boucher.
Yeah, I've been trying to get Chris to come in and do the fluorescent lights replacement in there. He wanted $3,000 just for the labor. The guy with the parts wanted $3,000 for the parts. So needless to say, it's not happening yet. But we're looking at a grant, there's money out there that can be done, and there's a list of electricians that work with them. So we're going that route. So, soon.
So the tree lighting is 4 o'clock?
Yeah, on Sunday.
What time?
Sunday.
4 on Sunday.
Oh, 4.
On
It is
Sunday.
on Sunday.
Yeah.
I had it on Saturday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Saturday's the meal at night.
Yeah, so,
Oh, it does get dark at what, 4:05, right?
Yes, it sure
I
does.
forgot about
It
that.
does now.
I was like, 4 o'clock.
Yeah. By the time we're done singing, it starts.
Yeah.
yeah.
So when do you want the tree?
As soon as possible.
Okay.
And it should fit in the gazebo.
I'll measure and see what you need. Or if I provide you the tree, you can saw off what you don't need.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I'll take it however it comes.
Anything else, Kathy?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Ben, you good?
We had a San Juan meeting last night, we got a quote from Double D Fence out of Norway. They gave us 3 different quotes for different types of fences. The ornamental one was about $16,000 for 229 feet. The one below that was 14 and change, and then the one we actually voted to buy was, the chain link, and it was $10,500. I called Debbie today, and she said that $7,500 in that account. So, I don't know if I have to get permission from you guys to have them do an invoice to pay for that, take that $7,500 out, to pay them to prepay so that they can start work in the spring. Cause I think they're 3 weeks out and I think we're gonna get frost.
So, you got money from a grant?
We did.
And that was the $7,500?
Debbie told me that there was $7,500 in that account.
How much was the grant?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
I think, I don't wanna misspeak here, but I think it may have been 8 and 300 was used for swimming lessons or something or other. I think I heard Debbie say today, which brought it down a little bit.
Right.
And that's where that $7,500 figure.
What I would like to do is prepay for the fence what we have in that account, and then either go back to town meeting and see if we can get the difference, or see what we do for sales on the beach passes.
Or you could ask for a grant for the difference.
Does that come in this, February? Is that a February?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure what date it was.
It's, the application's due February 1st.
Okay. But I would like to spend this money by the end of this month. The $7,800 that's in that account.
Into this month being 2 days.
Yeah. So the scenario that they gave us to the fence company was that apparently up at Storyland, they get allotted a certain amount of money for fencing, that they have to spend it in the fiscal year before, and then they pay for it, and then they get put first on the books in the spring to install. Apparently when you pay your money, you get a high priority.
I thought we also had some money that we were setting aside from sale of.
There was some money in reserve account, I just don't know exactly where that sits.
From the stickers.
The sticker money.
Yeah.
But, having said that, I think it's, permissible for him to spend grant money. And if you're buying the materials and then come back later for the install, or however you wanna call it, I think there might be some grant money available.
Yeah, we can put into that too, I really wanna get that money spent.
Okay.
And if we've got that money in that account, we ought to just spend it, and then we'll reapply for the difference or whatever.
I move that we authorize him to spend the grant money.
All in favor?
And also,
You can do it if you want to. Sorry.
also, Peter Zach,
She really gets into it.
That's what you call support.
Love it. Just like me.
Peter Zach, Michelle Ridley, and Emily talked about swimming lessons for this year coming up. What was the month they were gonna decide, Kathy, that year?
They have to decide in January.
In January, because of camps.
Right.
When they're gonna do summer lessons, and the hope is that they do them earlier.
Yep.
Versus later. And they may or may not be able to do 2 sessions, but there was a huge demand for some lessons that people were on a wait list. Because, a lot of people don't do them.
Don't let, the need for money hold back your ambitions to teach swimming.
Well, actually, from Peter Zach, he said that the rec actually pays for that.
Great.
So we don't have to worry about funding the swimming lesson part of it. And I said, and I think it was like $35 for swimming lessons. And I said, is there any kids that can't afford it, and they actually have money that they can dip into if they need to, if people can't afford it?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
But I think being involved with the rec to do that program is a lot better than us trying to administer it.
Oh, yeah.
So that takes the burden off us as liability and all that administrative stuff.
Right, yeah.
So we'll know more probably in February. We have January 24th.
Yep.
We have our next CSON meeting. So
January 24th.
that's 7.
think the people.
And actually, it was another thing, that was brought up last night was the town insurance, could the town insurance be tapped into to replace the picnic tables? Was that talked about by you guys?
No, but, most of the damage on those picnic tables is because of rot.
Okay,
So the insurance wouldn't cover it.
okay.
So it was pretty rotty. I
Okay.
just took a picture of them just to show the
Yeah,
the
okay.
damage, and we threw them out.
Yep. Okay.
Anything else?
No, just we talked about Mike Toomey when, because he passed,
Oh, yeah.
and he was very involved with that committee,
Yeah, that.
and it was, it really is it's a hole in the committee right now.
Is that recent?
Yeah, the last month.
No.
He was pretty dedicated to the pond,
Yeah,
and, he went down and put the buoys out and the rope.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Dwight did too, you did everything.
Yeah, the first time.
Yeah, but,
He didn't like the
we
way-
really need,
Learn your
we need some
lesson.
more folks that are
Learned your
interested,
lesson.
Right.
that have the same, vision that Mike did. We need some folks that have that same vision,
Yeah.
so. It just adds the surveying part. It took us 2 years to settle in the state for surveying, and it was the deeds were never lined up right. And we dealt with a guy at Wyndham, and he was absolutely wonderful to deal with, but it took him so much time to get every deed that was placed together to make the property that we have now, and it took him over 2 years to even make it dead in it. So, I don't know what it would do with this Panzerville deal, but, you might be in a long-term relationship with that.
There might be.
Sounds expensive.
He treated us good, but it was, we lucked out.
Yeah.
But if it had been, it probably would have been $4,000 or $5,000 if, just for our lot,
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
so.
Well,
We gotta figure out if it's worth it or not.
the forester said, depending on what our goal is for cutting there, you could, at least with the current lumber market, that it would be anywhere from $18,000 to $40,000 worth of timber taken out of it. But I can expect it would be probably $18,000 or more just for survey work.
Probably.
A lot of research and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Are you eventually gonna sell those lots, or are they just gonna be part of the town?
No, it's just to be able to say, this is what we own. I have a sense that people are squatting on town property and dumping junk
They're
there.
encroaching all around it and into it.
Yeah.
The story that there used to be a huge pile of tires.
Oh, I remember that tire.
Well, there's still a lot of tires there, and, because I went out. and
I think it was,
we walked all of this way, around in here, and back through there, and I believe it was in here, there was a lot of tires, and there was a lot of junk, and I don't know, there's a house here, I think it's here, and there's a house there, and one there, and a few there, and, they're just all over the place, It doesn't look like they're following any lot lines or anything, so.
Right.
They had the National Guard to clean those out.
Yeah, they came in and ground them, I remember Grandpa was.
Yeah.
And there may have been some tires from North Baldwin that ended up over there too, but, when they ground it up, but they had that all.
From your ground.
And
Give
they
me
ground-
these while you're doing it, huh?
It may or may not have happened, but anyway, there was also a big tire pile across the whistle stop too that came in,
Oh, yes.
back, where Holmes auto lived.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It was way in,
Yeah.
I'm kinda like diagonal.
Yeah.
So,
Anything else? Stevie? Somebody sitting in the back there. You got anything else in the back there? All right. We have a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
Second. Get wrong with that.
I
I need to know exactly where Hall Road was discontinued way back when. Is there paperwork in the road file on where, because, in the 911 database, I need to do an address out there, as well as Google Maps, which isn't always accurate. It actually hooks up. It
Yeah,
doesn't
it goes
go.
to the fire church, but it doesn't anymore. I should be able to pull up the record. Well, is it a road? Yeah. Kind of a road.
Because it, yes, that's
I
what.
should be able to pull up the exact footage of
Okay.
how much the town actually owns.
Because historically, I was told that it went to Partridge Lane,
Yeah.
but on the map, it hooks up in front of an old farmhouse that has a house actually beyond it. So it makes it look like it hooks up and away from Partridge.
Interesting.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I don't know.
um,
I should have the paperwork, though. I can dig in the file up here and the files down there and see what I can find for the actual date and how many road miles we actually do.
because, they're all using Hall Road as an address, but if it's hooking up in a way, and it's got two addresses there, is that Hall Road, or should it be another road? Or, and then you've got where Donnie Frost is.
Yep.
That's what used to be linked to Partridge
Right,
Lane.
which was the actual Hall Road.
Okay.
Well,
So-
what used to be part of the Hall Road, because it used to go out that road.
But-
And then the one that hooks up to the right there with the two houses up is probably they need to probably address it and do a separate
road.
road name for their private
Yeah,
road.
because 911 has it hooking up at least in front of the old farm
Yeah.
and cutting off, that's what it appears anyway. So I just wanna clarify legally
Yeah,
where
I'll,
we're
uh,
at, because
I'll
I
pull up the
can't
paperwork
create a
and-
road if it's already part of Fall Road, you know what I mean, that wouldn't be good.
Yeah, no, I should be able to pull up the paperwork and see
Okay.
exactly the footage and see what year it was discontinued, if we can find it.
I don't know if most people realize how much work 911 addressing this. It's a huge job.
Well, they've just changed the database, so it's completely new and different, so,
But you're lucky.
yeah, so I'm trying to, I need to get the addressing done, but it doesn't look or act exactly the same. It's similar but very different, if that makes sense at all.
We'll take a
But-
look tomorrow and see what we
Yeah.
come up with.
Because I don't wanna hold her up because she's gotta get CMP in there. I don't think that the CMP necessarily needs a specific number, but if she doesn't have a map and lot because there's no deed split yet, but we've gotta have some way of identifying where she is for that. Thank you.
Yeah?
No, but thank you.
Now do we have most of those adjourned? All in favor? Thank you.